wards. When I was elected to the City Council in 1969, the John Hancock building was just rising, and the Sears Tower was merely a drawing on Skidmore's workroom drafting table. There was no blue line to O'Hare, no orange line to Midway, no Millennium Park, no Bean, no cell phones, no cable TV, no Watergate, and no Shackman decree. In January 1975, longtime Southside Congressman John C. Kluczynski passed away. I wanted to fill that vacancy, so I called Tom Donovan, Mayor Daley's right-hand man, and made an appointment to see Mayor Daley. I told him why I thought it would be good for me to be a candidate, why I was electable. He listened attentively and then shook my hand and said, "Congress is not for you, Eddie." Of course, I was disappointed. I had not expected the mayor to rain so hard on my parade. But of course, he had an infallible political insight. He was correct. I would like to think that my loyalty and growing understanding of Chicago's municipal government was something he thought should stay at home. I suspect no event in Chicago's recent history was more shocking than the death of Mayor Daley on December 20th, 1976. Personally, and for so many Chicagoans, it was difficult to reconcile that this giant of a man would no longer lead Chicago. And I will confess, I owed him my political start and enjoyed a somewhat paternal relationship with the man with whom my predecessors were cautious allies. My father had not been a part of Tom Keene's inner circle, but the mayor signaled that he wanted me to be the committeeman and alderman, and so it happened. And I will also confess that there was never a moment over the years when a piano was nearby that I would miss the opportunity to play the mayor's favorite song, "There's a Dear Little Town in the Old County Down." Politically, I believe that I am correct in saying that in spite of that terrible shock of his death, I was also confident that the city and the members of the City Council would be able to survive what appeared at the time to be a terrible disaster. Life in the City Council over the past 43 years has been expansive and exhilarating, crafting laws and shaping the character of our metropolis. The Council has been a political environment that has evolved through the personalities of those who serve there and the changing demands of the times. Each endeavor seeks to meet the needs of those changes. The shape of each ward might change every 10 years with redistricting, but it is always a landscape filled with Chicagoans. It is for them that we are focused on the everyday and sometimes mundane necessities of urban life. Occasionally, the dramas are expanded by history or some inescapable necessity. But more often than not, we survive the predicament in which we find ourselves. 50 wards represented by 50 aldermen and a mayor who sits as president of the council create and design the framework of city living through laws that we hope are effective, reasoned, and intelligent. From Rogers Park to Hegewisch, from Lincoln Park to Inglewood, with cross cultures, customs, and traditions, we try to make Chicago safe, secure, and livable for all. It has been said, you've got to give loyalty down if you want loyalty up. And I'm convinced that such loyalty has been a way of life in our 14th Ward for 43 years. That period of time would have been impossible to endure without the loyalty and friendship of the people who have supported me over those years. And I want to single out especially Pete Andrews, who has been there each and every day for those 43 years. I truly don't know what I would have done without him. Our political organization is a way of life, which has not survived in all of the wards across the city. And I can only imagine how difficult it must be for some of my colleagues to accomplish anything without the support of the friends that I have had for over 4 decades. I'm simply grateful, deeply grateful for their presence in my life and my career. I'm also honored that so many candidates seeking election in the Democratic primary sought out our support. They can always count on the support of the people of the 14th Ward. We will be there for them on Election Day, because that is a tradition that is time-honored in our neighborhood. The late Senator Ted Kennedy once said, "We know the future will outlast all of us, but I believe that all of us will live on in the future we make." There is wisdom in those words. Looking ahead to the future, I'm enthused and encouraged by Chicago's energy and determination. I hope I can continue to let it shape the path before us and that which we must do. For, as Robert Frost writes, I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Thank you all for listening.